came out. I'm just doing my reaction verbally because I don't know how to do things like that, like the FaceCam thing. So we're gonna watch it now.
Thomas! Oh my gosh, you made it! We're so happy to see you!
How you doing, you beautiful man? Oh, I'm sorry for calling you beautiful. That was weird. My bad.
You could call me beautiful, Mary Lee.
I always do beautiful.
Pissing noises.
We love each other. Hence the marriage.
Anyway, what's new, Thomas? Anything exciting going on in your life?
Hey, you okay, buddy? You look real sad in this photo I just took. No worry, I'll crop you out.
And we have the couple for their first dance.
Oh, sorry, Thomas.
That's
Gotta go.
that
So
depressing
great
voice.
seeing you.
Okay, so they're happy. Crushed. Why is this like a video game though? That's the one thing I'm so confused about. Also, I got cloak march. I know it's...
Guess who just got a callback for an Alfred Hitchcock Lucas movie? When is the callback?
I've
April
memorized
13th. He
everything.
has a prior engagement that day. The wedding. Nobody's perfect. Except for
Dude, this
Thomas.
gives me
He
so
loves
much
his friend.
anxiety.
I want to go to the callback. I hereby sentence you to 1 day at the St. Clifford's Chapel on the day of Lee and Mary Lee's wedding.
Okay. Why is the angry now that he's home?
What the everybody? Now, kiddo, if you're gonna dish out F's, why don't we make them friendly hugs? F friends, Patton. Wait, you're talking about friendly hugging your friends? No! Thomas, you should never... I'm surprised that you would say something like that.
He said never because
about your
you
friends. I always thought that when it came to your pals, that sort of language would be ineffable. Oh, it's very effable. It's effable as F. With a situation this... Stop. You're not at all excited for them? With so much F use thrown about, I doubt there's much he'd like to F-use about. Right, what do you mean? Am I not... Okay, you know what? Let's review. Let's do. Thank you. I hope we rhyme like this the whole way through. I hope so too. Yoo-hoo! So, let's start with the fact that the wedding was a total bust. It was? It was. It's just that going didn't pay off quite like we discussed. You mustn't think that going to a wedding to support your friends would have any sort of self-serving ends. I don't, but how about more than just hello? Yeah, something's iffy. Glad you're with me. That the state of things is icky. Is there something here we're missing? Maybe. No! I mean, you know that we've gone through all of this before. We four
He
have
doesn't wanna
helped you
say
make the
no.
proper choice of wedding over your...
That's
Spare me
rude.
the rest. Yes, but callback for a film that could have been my break. Yeah, you could say. And no one wanted you to go more than that slimy snake who pushed to do the egocentric thing auditioning. Yeah, that's Deceit. A part of you so hard to chew it left me lost at sea. If our goals aligned with his, what would I say? I felt forsaken. You were
Wait,
saying
is this
that we
based off
both
that
had
one
lost our
game?
way. But in your
I don't know
face,
what
I
it's
saw this
called.
pain, and so I made this choice. And now I have a restless head. And my bad, I'll just feel this way. What way? The way a groom might feel if he just watched as his bride ran away. But you're gay. I'm saying if I make the right
But
choice,
you're
why don't I
gay.
feel right? You may not tonight, but in time you might. I don't know. I think this feeling's here to stay. It is a pity to admit he could have done more than just sitting at that wedding feeling. Quit reviewing. Okay. Boy, how could such an upsetting conversation happen in such a fun way? Oh, why didn't they just talk to us more? Wait a minute. Why didn't I just talk to them before the wedding? I kind of brought that up before, but it got shut down faster than an Antarctic ice pop shop, so... Oh my gosh, I'm so
you're
stupid. I could have
sassy.
just told them everything. If my one interaction with them was
That
any
was
indication,
funny.
they obviously
what my mom
wouldn't have
said,
cared
but I
if
made
I
her watch
wasn't
it.
there at all. Maybe so. Wait, are you having second thoughts about choosing to go to the wedding, Roman? Oh,
I think so, yeah.
no. Of course not. I just wish we could have known how
Hopefully
they
this
felt.
works, because this is my first reaction.
Maybe it could have, I don't know,
He says that a
made
lot.
things a little easier for us. Well, you know, hindsight is 20/20, so... Okay, but if you're a sighted person with less than 20/20 vision, you don't just ignore
Gives you
whatever you see in
20/20.
front of you. I see. We should start looking into ways to predict the future. No. Very good. What I'm saying is I know Lee and Mary Lee. I can predict how they might act in specific situations. I know that they are very understanding people, and I should have used that knowledge. That would have been using foresight.
I need my Dr. Pepper.
But I didn't do that.
I don't wanna...
So I made a decision with a blindfold on. But in Patton's defense, people are complicated, fickle things, aren't they? You think you know someone and...
Oh, that was such a bad time to stop. Okay, I'm back. I really need a sip of Dr. Pepper if I'm gonna talk this whole thing.
Then wham! Out of nowhere, they fill your apartment with feral cats, and now you're somehow responsible for the vet bills? You've got to give them away, but despite your cat allergy, you've endeared yourself to them, especially to Mrs. Snuffles. More like Mrs. Sniffles, because of the allergy.
What is wrong with you?
Your point being, foresight isn't really the most reliable tool that we have. Cool, so we don't use it at all? We did use it. You've known Lee and Mary Lee for most of your life, and they've always lent a helping hand when you needed it. That's true. When your car broke down an hour out of town, who was the only person willing to come out and give you a jump?
Guys, you're just making me feel guilty.
I don't know what good she thought jumping would do. What you needed was somebody to fix your car. And Lee always had my back in high school after I came out. Exactly. Now here, they met up with you face to face to tell you about their wedding engagement. Biggest day of their lives. And they asked you if you could be there. I wasn't even like a groomsman or anything. Well,
that doesn't matter.
It's not Lee's fault that he has so many brothers. Catholics, those baby-making Catholics. We didn't have the first clue how it would make them feel. You thinking about giving their wedding a pass, all because of a callback that really...
They're agreeing. They're supposed... Everybody said it was gonna be like a... Oh my god, what is it called? Like what Virgil and Logan did. I don't remember what it's called, but didn't they say that was gonna happen, though? That doesn't make sense.
Might not work out. And not that you're not a talented guy. No, yeah. Dame Judi Dench, or as I like to call her, Queen Groovy Bench, didn't land her first big Hollywood movie role until she was 61. So, maybe they understand. But maybe they still really want you to go to the wedding and feel too guilty to say so. Or maybe you end up going to the wedding. And they feel guilty seeing you there because they feel like they took a big opportunity away from you. But they wouldn't have felt that way. But we didn't know that. Foresight means thinking about every possibility. Talking to them about it could have been harmful. And this was our chance to be there for them when it counted. Was not talking to them worth it, though? I don't know.
What?
Whatever happened to karma, you know? You do something good, good stuff happens to you. Right, yeah. Why is the saying, karma's a bitch?
Wait. Am I the only one that thinks that does not sound like Roman? It seriously doesn't sound like Roman to me. I've said that the whole entire time in my head. Like, this whole entire video, the 7:35, whole time of this video, Roman's not sounded right. Am I the only one that thinks that? He doesn't sound, like, correct. You know, he's, like, maybe it's just because he's in that, like, thing of, like, he's stressed. But it seriously sounds like he's not the same person.
Why can't it be... Karma is a very fair person.
No.
Why does their complexion matter? Well, Keno, unfortunately, life isn't always like your video games. Sometimes you can make all the good choices and still not get the good ending. I don't know if there even was a good ending to get. I'm pretty sure there was. He's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, Roman, that...
White.
Well, that actually does sound jolly good. I mean, sure, it does sound very jolly, and we can all agree that you are a good fellow. Can we all agree on that? Oh, yes, I can... We can all... Okay.
Are you okay?
I understand now that I have been a little much the mayor of Munchkinland. Sure, when it comes to giving Thomas the third degree on his integrity. Right. And yeah, it is my job to keep you on Santa's nice list. But I haven't been making you feel very nice. I don't want to make you think you're some stupid...
Wait, what's wrong with Patton? I told myself if Patton was sad in this new episode, I was going to kill Thomas. I don't want to have to kill Thomas. Don't be sad.
Dirty, rotten, filthy, silly, Billy, no good for nothing, white,
What is happening?
rat, scoundrel, bitch. Okay, thank you, Roman, for your help. You're welcome.
Stop.
I'm done asking, is Thomas a good person? I'm
Well,
just
why
here
didn't
now
you-
to help you be as good as a good bud should. Okay, well, that's a relief.
Ooh.
I think. So, yeah, you are a good fella. But not every good fella gets a big award. Only Joe Pesci. Well,
The
what
background
do
music
we
is cool.
get? Sometimes it's just this. A bagel? What? No.
No.
Maybe. No, nothing. It's nothing. Oh, sometimes you can't get anything because a lot of the time, people need something more than you do. Like, let's say you pass by some sort of stop where you can buy games. A game store. You mean the internet? I'm not going outside. Oh, come on, Roman. Video games
You
mean
can't,
so
though.
much indoor time that they should cost a little outdoor time, don't you think? Anyway, you see a poster for the latest installment in the Frogger franchise. You're such a dad. Buddy, Frogger's not really a big thing anymore. And they're missing out. There is no video game character as cool as Frogger. Heck, he eats fly for breakfast. Okay. And trying to cross a busy road without losing his froggy life? Whew. Talk about riveting. Like, you're such a dad that it's too much to handle sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah.
everyone's raving about the new Frogger. Best one yet. Amazing graphics. At least 16 graphics.
Do you even know what you're saying right now?
And, oh yay, it's on sale for about, I don't know, as much as a hot dog is worth. Patton, that's how much you get when you return a game. You have just enough money to buy it, but as you walk up to the door, you're stopped by a homeless, down-on-his-luck actor, and who is it? Whoever you want. Oh, come on, Patton. How is Thomas supposed to feel empathy for this person if he has no one to visualize? Alrighty, it's, Leslie Odom Jr. What? Why Leslie? I need backstory for this. What happened, Pat? I don't know. He spilled his drink on Stephen Sondheim at a party, and Sondheim said, "Gosh darn it, Leslie, you'll never work in this razzle-dazzle town again." He should just move to another town, right? Wow, this hypothetical version of Stephen Sondheim sounds like a real mother crupper. So, Mr. Odom Jr. tells you that he's very hungry, and he points you to a nearby hot dog vendor. It's just a few yards away. By the liquid lipstick of William Shakespeare, a hot dog would cost Thomas his entire Frogger fund. It's all coming together. What do? Pretend you're talking on the phone so he leaves you alone? Tell him, I don't have any money, Leslie. Hightail it the heck out of here. Buy him a hot dog, or do you
Lie.
hightail it the heck out of there?
Lie.
And I really want this Frogger game.
Yeah, you do. You woke up at 6 a.m. dull to go and get it. 6 a.m. dull? Do you mean sharp? No, that's really early for you. So you weren't quite able to get out of bed until like 6:08. Well, regardless, of course I buy him the hot dog. So you mustered up the will to give him a dinner that he could relish. Only, when he takes the hot dog, he walks away without thanking you. What do now? Do you say, "You're welcome," in a way that lets him know you think he was rude? Do you prompt him by saying, "What do you say?" Do you physically take the hot dog back? Or do you go about your day?
I mean, there's an obvious right answer here.
Please don't tell me you're going to wrestle Tony Award-winning actor Leslie Odom Jr. for a hot dog.
What? No. I'm gonna go about my day.
Even though he didn't say thank you, he doesn't have to. Just like you didn't have to get him a hot dog. I feel like you kind of do, though. Maybe. You don't need the new Frogger. Well, no one needs a new Frogger. Why do you think Thomas has to give the money, Patton? Well, because that money was
Here's
going
the
to
debate
a luxury item. In that situation, it's so easy. It's all right in front of you. A hungry person comes up to you and says, "I need food." And the food I need is right there. You have the money. And it wasn't going to something you needed. You can disagree. But I feel like it might be kind of wrong to keep the money for yourself. Mamma mia! Jesus Christ, superstar, what is that?
It's just me, Logan. I've
What
taken this
the
form because I didn't want to be too invasive.
You very much did not succeed. What you doing,
What do
Logan?
you-
Well,
What
determining
is
what
that?
feels right or wrong for you isn't really my area of expertise. Seeing how there's not much left at stake at this juncture, and that
love this.
regret, unfortunately, is a process that can't be expedited, I decided that I need not expend too much
don't know
energy
a
on
word
this
he's
matter.
saying.
However, I felt that it would behoove all parties involved if I provided relevant information to serve as supporting evidence
Why?
to any of the arguments that are made during today's discussion.
Neato! So you're making your little factoids optional this time around.
Facts. Factoid is a term coined by Norman
Oh my
Miller
God,
to
shut
describe
up.
false facts invented for magazines in order to manipulate their readers. And yes, I suppose they could be viewed as optional, your two options being informed or ignorant.
Oh, I've got this one, guys. I'm just kidding. Roman, you shouldn't push people's buttons. Enough joking around, Roman. Go on, Logan.
Jesus Christ, superstar. Thank you, Thomas.
Oh! Guess I won't be wrestling a hot dog away from Logan. Cause he thanked me.
Thomas, you need help.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead, Logan. Oh, holy hero, we gotta read. It would be an estimated annual cost of $20 billion to eliminate homelessness in the United States, according to Mark Johnston.
God, I hate
Lost all that. Okay, Americans spend more than $20 billion on Christmas decorations and flowers every year, so it would seem that many Americans do have the
This is
currency to
how
spare
people
to end
feel like.
homelessness in the United States forever. Whew, okay, I'm not doing that again. I am sorry. That was too fast. Can you, one more time, Roman? Huh? Yeah, I
did he
guess
even say?
everyone doing their small part for those in need could make a difference. Yeah, and even if I can't change things on my own, something as little as briefly helping a greatly
God, Logan,
troubled,
shut up.
prodigious actor would
Okay.
still give me more pleasure than playing Frogger. Well, yeah. I mean, it's Frogger we're talking about. Like, it's not like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, as long as that's
No one
not
cares
the main
about
reason you're
Frogger.
doing
I
it.
don't remember what that game is.
What? Oh, well, you shouldn't do a good thing just because it makes you feel good.
What?
I think.
What?
You literally said the opposite to Deceit when we were back in the courtroom. Yeah, I did.
They both sound very different. Wait. This is a great thing because people said that maybe Deceit and Remus are going to be Pat and Roman. Oh my God, maybe these are the real people because I said Roman sounds different and I said Patton is seeming different. Maybe it's actually Deceit and Remus.
But we all agreed that in that situation, the right thing to do was go to the wedding, which didn't feel good at all. So,
Ooh. This
I
is
was
good
wrong.
drama.
Not to mention, Deceit
love
said
this.
that you'd be doing the right thing for a selfish reason if you did it for your own emotional gain. And you agree? Definitely.
No.
Maybe? Great. I love that movie. I mean, you know, I think so. What do you think? Well, I think we all know I'm
hugging a pillow
not
right now.
exactly an expert in the moral medium.
A
No,
Markiplier
go ahead,
pillow
Roman.
helps.
I'd like to hear from you. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how much it matters
Or that's actually Deceit and
why
that's his
you
woman.
do something. What do you mean? Oh, it was nothing. It was stupid. Oh, no, please continue. Yeah, I'm sorry, Roman. Okay. So, like, say a very handsome prince. Who's the prince? I don't know. Leslie Odom Jr. Oh, wow! Guess old Sondheim couldn't keep him down. Yeah,
wanted
that's
him
right.
to say
From
Virgil.
homeless and royally screwed to castle-dwelling royalty, dude! Just your typical Tuesday. Anyway, Leslie offers up a reward. What's the reward? Leslie's famous cake. Phrasing. What? Leslie's literal cake that he baked. Oh my gosh. He offers it to whomsoever is able to rescue his kingdom from the clutches of the skewed-bellied
It's
tyrant
Deceit.
who is currently occupying said kingdom. Even if someone
thanks, Roman.
rescued the kingdom for the
Logan.
reward, I don't know. I just feel
It's
like
Deceit,
it
Bowser.
doesn't make much of a difference so long as all of the denizens are liberated. Huh?
What?
That is something that
I'm focusing on the
I
game.
don't know if it's right. You don't know if it's a good thing that everyone was saved? Wow, Patton, way to be a side with valid doubts about a complex moral issue. Of course, I think it's good that the kingdom is safe.
it's gotta
That's
be
great.
Deceit.
The most important thing. But yeah, you know, The people in this kingdom are
Patton is
suffering
Deceit again.
at the slimy hands of this reptilian rapscallion. I was just blanking on the word guy, but, sure. People are being hurt by this reptilian with scallions. No, and this person doesn't care about them? They just want to earn some reward? That doesn't sound like a very good person to me. Yeah, probably
He keeps
not.
saying too much.
Fair enough, but I wouldn't even argue for that much. Saving people for a reward is totally different from helping someone out just because it feels nice to help. Like, if the person in Roman's scenario saved the kingdom just because it made them feel good, then no one would argue that they aren't a good person. Well, I mean, maybe not. Am I not allowed to feel good if I do something good? Well, of course you are. That's just not why
Logan,
you
come
do
out.
it.
We need you.
At least I
Actually be here.
think so. But I mean, your morality.
Yeah.
You're the guy who makes that call. So why do we do it? Well, you don't do it because it makes you feel good. You do it because
It's gonna take a while.
it's the right thing to do. Okay. How do we know it's the right thing to do? You just know. Okay. That's not exactly the kind of answer I was hoping for, but well, it's kind of just
Oh my god.
in all of us, you know? Why is killing and stealing illegal everywhere? Why do we all agree that that's not okay to do? I think it all comes back to empathy. Humans understand
that's why
each
he
other.
said society.
We know what feels good and
That's why Deceit kept saying society itself is a lie. This Deceit. My theory is done. This is actually Deceit. This
what
is not
causes
Patton.
pain. If a whole kingdom is in danger,
Because he keeps talking
well,
about. He
everyone...
keeps talking about society. That's what Deceit was talking about before. Either Patton's siding with Deceit at the end of it, or this is just Deceit.
kind of knows that the right thing to do, if you can save a large group of innocent people, is
That makes sense. because
save
Rosie
them.
is
Well,
very high
okay.
up.
What about, let me ask you this. What if you can only save the large group of people by hurting another innocent
are you
person?
kidding me?
That
No,
causes pain,
no,
but
no.
you said the right thing to do is to
Anxiety,
save the
denial,
group.
anxiety,
Oh, you,
morality.
can't hurt an innocent person.
Oh my god.
Constructive criticism,
That
maybe not
scenario was
depict
the
scenarios
same.
where my
Okay,
friends
whatever.
die. Okay.
I don't care. I already know all about
I'm
that.
really
Logan.
not trying to argue with you, Patton, but you said everyone knows that it's right to save innocent people when you can. Is that not always true? Well, not
I
when
would've
it's
killed
like
the random
that.
actor person
It's
thing.
never okay to hurt an innocent person. So that rule trumps the other rule. Roman! You know we don't like to use the T word in this house. Oh, sorry. So the rule about not hurting people overrules the rule about saving people. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Mm-mm.
What?
Are you okay?
But what about the people that got hurt? That was a terrible tragedy that you couldn't do anything about. But you could have done something. You could have redirected the train. But that something wasn't an okay thing to do. Okay, so it's not about the end result then. It's about
my God.
the how. Like how you do whatever you do. Right. The how.
What?
And the why. You don't let the train hit the group of people because you think they
What is
deserve to
happening
get
right
hit
now?
more than the one person.
Oh my gosh.
Patton, my blinds!
I am so sorry.
Did you break my blinds?
I popped up too close there.
Oh, thanks, Roman. You really cut the tension there. Okay. You okay? Oh, yeah, I'm great. You sure? No, I'm good. Figment of your imagination, so. Okay. So,
I don't
about the
think he's
whole
okay.
why thing. What is a good why when it comes to why I should do good? I know you said earlier you do it because
Maybe
it's
the
right.
Deceit got
so
knocked out of him.
I guess what I'm asking is, what do I do it for? What's the outcome? what motivates me? I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I would say putting more good into the world.
What?
I wish that was a more satisfying answer, but it just isn't.
It isn't. I'm sorry, bud, but it's not.
You know, I'm not doing a really great job explaining this philosophy. Logan, what would a real philosopher think about what I'm saying here?
Well, Friedrich Nietzsche really wouldn't have been thrilled with anything you've had to say. Primarily because pity seems to be at the center of your idea of putting good into the world.
That's not what
Nietzsche famously rejected the notion that pity was a virtue. He once claimed that pity runs counter to the instincts that preserve
my
and
God.
enhance the value of life. So Thomas is...
Well, you can't exactly learn how to care about others from a book, can you? It's okay, Patton. I mean, I don't really agree with the Mustache Meister either.
He does have a super duper unique mustache.
What he calls pity, I call empathy. And empathy is good. But I really don't understand what I need to change so that I can meet your standard of having the right motivation. I think I
He's
understand.
just gonna date himself.
Your desires are getting in the way.
The problem is, in all honesty, that you want to spend your money on that new Frogger game more than you want, or even think to give your money to the homeless, and that you wanted to go to that callback more than you wanted to support your friends.
There's a Disney music in the
The
background.
blame falls to me. If you're missing that do-gooder drive, I think it's because I'm in the driver's seat. And I'm an awful driver. Perhaps
Roman, no.
Perhaps I should let Patton take the wheel. Roman, I only mean well when I say that that is the stupidest thing you have ever said. Oh, Thomas,
Everything he says is stupid.
you're just blowing smoke. Really, Roman, it's the opposite. I need you on my team more than anyone. If we're talking about a drive or Thomas's will, then there's honestly no side more helpful than you. I mean, I guess. But I get why Roman's confused.
He's insecure.
Patton, I don't know what form the drive you're talking about would take. Everything I do is motivated by some sort of feeling. I eat because I feel hungry. I drink because I feel thirsty. I don't know what feeling would motivate me to go out and do good if not some sense of self-satisfaction. The only thing I'm feeling right now is guilt over the things that do motivate me. Which kind of makes me not want to do anything. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry about whatever I said to make you feel that way. Doing nothing is even worse. What? Never mind. I'm sorry. Worse? Worse than what? I don't know if I should say. You might as well. I'm kind of scared too. Look, Patton, I already feel bad, so I'd rather not feel bad and confused. Doing nothing is worse than doing a good thing for the wrong reasons. Like, we talked about how you have to... Well, I think it's good to give your money to a good cause if you were planning to spend it on something you don't need. And I feel like the same principle kind of goes for spending time? Maybe? Time spent serving up knuckle sandwiches to bad guys in a video game could maybe be better spent serving up soup and sandwiches to the hungry in a local shelter.
I have a difference of opinion on this one, Pat.
God.
I'm sure we're all familiar with the somewhat tired metaphor for self-care. You must put on your own oxygen mask before helping your fellow passenger. An analogy that warns against the practice of helping others with their personal issues when you yourself are in need of help.
I do need help.
It's ironic
Guys,
that
what's
that
happening?
illustration's so overused at this point because it has almost become as easy to tune out that advice as it is to tune out the actual safety instructions on a flight. Easy and very dangerous. In the event that a plane cabin becomes depressurized, you do not have
I
long to
understand
secure
why
your
this took
oxygen
so
mask
long.
before you risk your oxygen saturation levels dropping too much, leading to hypoxia, which is just insufficient oxygen for life functions. Hypoxia symptoms can include an inability to communicate, confusion, unconsciousness, and possible death.
3 out of 4 of those are normal for me. Do I have hypoxia right now?
Having heard a piece of information
Am I
before does
dying?
not give you license to ignore it in the future, especially when the consequences of forgetting are so perilous.
Logan, I completely agree with you. But I really don't see how that relates to what we're talking about. Yeah, Logan, like you said earlier, this isn't really your area of expertise. Patton never said Thomas couldn't help himself, especially in a situation as dire as putting on his oxygen mask in a ground-bound plane. Of course I wouldn't say that. I've agreed in the past that Thomas should take the time to make sure he's doing okay and to temporarily put himself first if he needs to.
And just like all of the moral dilemmas we've been discussing, it can seem easy to confidently state what you would do in a difficult situation without legitimately knowing how you would behave when your instincts take over. In theory, you believe Thomas can and should take some time to care for himself, but every point
Can
you've
they?
made in today's discussion has contradicted that sentiment.
What? How? I don't think video games versus community service is a threat to Thomas taking care of himself.
Nearly every answer Patton has given to the moral questions throughout this
Without
discussion
Patton,
has
I swear.
suggested that a moral life is a life without spending surplus capital and time on leisure activities. Dr. Robert A. Stebbins defined leisure as activity
Dr.
engaged in
Robert
during
Downey
free
Jr.?
time which people want to do and actually do in either a satisfying or a fulfilling way or both. Leisure means experiencing freedom. It's your time and you do what you want with it, which in turn contributes to a feeling of control and improved self-esteem. A lack of control and self-esteem are two factors that you all now understand can
Bro,
worsen
talking
Thomas's
is really
relationship
my
with
head.
intrusive thoughts, and they have. Additionally, Doctors Iwasaki, Messina, and Hopper
Remus.
wrote that leisure time promotes a joyful life. And if
Remus and
that isn't
Deceit in the
enough,
same
pleasurable
room. I'd like
activities
to see
stimulate the
that.
production of neurochemicals, which can then improve one's physical health. Leisure is something that Thomas needs more of in his life in order to feel like he has a life. And Patton is essentially suggesting that Thomas isn't being as good of a person as he'd like him to be if he doesn't sacrifice his life for others.
Whoa! That is
Sacrifice,
not what
what?
I said.
Oh, is it not? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
So if it was between Thomas's life or another's, you don't think Thomas should give his life up?
Whoa,
Oh, and this other person is an innocent little lamb.
Okay,
Or how about a group of innocents?
I don't actually, I would like to know, Patton, what should Thomas do in that kind of situation? I don't know. Maybe. It's okay.
What is happening?
You all think of people who lay down their lives for others as the greatest
It's
heroes,
Frog.
so I don't know.
You don't know? Earlier you suggested that all people naturally understand right and wrong.
Okay, why the hell is he a frog?
Should Thomas die so that others may live?
I don't
Yes,
know.
I mean, maybe, or maybe not. What do I know? What do you think, Thomas, if it's your life or Leslie's?
By the slow wit of Heracles, Patton, leave Leslie out of this one!
But how is Thomas supposed to feel empathy for this person if he has no one to visualize?
Is there no one else he can feel empathy for?
You're right, Roman. Thomas's life or Lee and Mary Lee's? What do you say, Thomas? I don't know the right answer here. It's up to you.
Patton, you need to slow down.
Enough!
Has nothing to
This
do with either one.
isn't working. This
It's
entire
not.
conversation has become so muddled due to a constant, misleading misuse of conscientious language. You'll need a sharp side to cut through all this bull. Frog. A sort of subterfuge specialist.
Wait.
The Lord of the Lies.
Yay!
Reptilian Rapscallion! Reptilian Rapscallion! We've got a code, Yellow!
Deceit.
What have you done with Logan? Nothing at all, and I resent the question. Hold on! What are you talking about, Deceit? Who's misleading who? Patton is misleading you.
Frogwash. gosh! I may be amphibian, but I can't say that I am fibbing.
That's richer than Jeff Bezos coming from the self-proclaimed
Yay,
Lord of
this
the
is it.
Lies. Do keep it up with the wordplay. It never gets old. He didn't mislead you on purpose, Thomas. I don't think the little guy or the big frog is capable of that sort of thing. He may have just threatened the life of Broadway's original Aaron Burr himself, but you leave our rosy-cheeked riveter
Burr
alone.
himself.
Patton, I'm loving this new direction that you're going with your rhetoric, sprinkling in a few maybes, who knowses, or what do you think? Why are you doing that?
Because I found out that I was being too tough on Thomas and it was driving him hopping mad. So, I tried to share my thoughts in a softer way.
And it
Right,
didn't
because making Thomas feel inadequate for not dying in someone else's stead isn't tough at all. Here's the thing, Patton. Pushy is pushy. That faux flexible rhetoric that you're using to soften your approach doesn't change your intentions.
Deceit's being nice? Hold on, Deceit's literally being nice. Bruh.
It just disguises them.
That was just a hypothetical. Patton's not actually suggesting that Thomas should pursue martyrdom. Right, I don't want Thomas to croak. That's my job.
We're talking about what-ifs, worst-case scenario kind of stuff.
What I am saying is Thomas has a really good life that other people don't. You're over there talking about putting on your oxygen mask before helping another passenger, but we're not in a crashing plane. If the
Yeah, they're gonna
situation
come,
was
like,
that
both
serious,
1
then
HP
sure,
right
he
now.
can focus entirely on himself.
Well,
But does he deserve it? I don't know. Man, I don't know if I can believe whatever you tell me.
Lily Patton help.
Treating yourself is something
You-
that
you just
can
killed
take
Thomas.
too far.
You can take anything too far, Patton. You've taken things too far. The plane is going down. You need to give Thomas some room to breathe.
No. Mental health. Tom's mental health? Tom.
I really don't know what I'm talking about.
Just like, what
Can't
happened?
not know. Patton, what are you saying? We can still beat him. We've beaten him before.
The
Ow!
CD.
Sorry, I have not looked in this direction the whole time. Don't give up now. No. He's right. I'm bringing this plane down. What? How? He's the actual snake on the plane. And I, for one, am tired of this morality-fighting snake on this metaphorical plane.
You know, I'm actually glad you brought up the oxygen mask illustration again, Patton.
And that means you're not glad, right?
Of course not. He's just trying to build up a false confidence in you so that you can plummet to even
Maybe he's
greater
not lying,
depths.
though,
That
guys.
does sound like a very funny, wholesome prank, but no, I mean it. The idea is that you need not reach for your oxygen mask unless the plane is crashing. But when you apply that logic to real life, the analogy falls apart. A plane going down is an emergency. But self-care shouldn't be put off until you experience a mental health crisis. Mental health management
That's
is
why
a
it
little
said
more like
makeup.
training
With
to be a
Deceit's in
lifeguard.
it.
You have to spend time practicing and preparing and building up your strengths so that when you're inevitably faced with an emergency, you're better equipped to handle it.
Wait, but you just used a job that's all about helping others as a metaphor for me putting myself first.
Yeah, Joy! I realized that before you brought it up, just as I'm sure you realize a metaphor someone makes up on the spot isn't going to be perfect. How about this?
What is happening?
So, in some games, you have to use your turn to give yourself a power boost
Yeah,
or
this
to
is
heal
one of his
yourself.
vines before.
Even though that
not
move only
vines, but
benefits
the vines.
you in that instant, it ultimately makes you a more helpful party member. Oh, shit. Not that any of you care, but I am unharmed, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm just here to deliver one last fact, then I will do you all a favor and spare you my company.
Oh, Logan,
Peter Singer is an
Yeah,
Australian
okay.
philosopher and activist who champions the movement known as effective altruism. The primary
Okay.
feature that differentiates effective altruism from other moral philosophies is its practicality. It employs the heart and the mind so that effective altruism can earn its namesake and actually
So,
be
practicality.
effective. The aim is to help as many
Basically.
people little as possible while maintaining a perfectly adequate standard of living. So, a poor, sick person giving 5 of their last 15 cents to an aid organization, while incredibly altruistic, is not effective altruism because that money won't go very far, and the act would only harm that person's already unacceptable standard of living. Fellow effective altruist William McCaskill recommends that people who can, and are inclined to, should go into fields like banking or finance, because more money earned means more money to give.
Right, like I said, I need to give myself a buff so that I can better help others.
And you need to maintain an adequate standard of living. You can't forget that part. If the variety of generosity that you subscribe to leaves you feeling depressed or like your life isn't your own, then you need to reevaluate things.
What do you know? If it came down to video games or volunteering at a local shelter, it actually might be okay to prioritize gaming sometimes, if video games are an essential ingredient in your recipe for self-care. Emphasis on the sometimes, though, right? We should still try to help those in need. Whatever, sure, if that's your thing. I mean, totally, yes, of course. But mental health should be regarded with the same life-or-death attitude as physical health. You've been taught to feel guilty for taking care of yourself. But you were also taught that Christopher Columbus was a pretty cool guy. A lot of your education was, of course, forgive the pun. So what, we're supposed to do a complete 360 and head right back into Selfish City? You mean a 180. Don't you talk to me about math! You're not Fogan anymore. That's Faux Logan, if you're too slogan. You're right. So, why don't we move on to something we're both familiar with, Roman?
Like I said.
Mistakes. I was actually very impressed with you. You made such a noble sacrifice. Don't try to flatter me, Snake. I don't need to flatter you now, Roman. I mean this. You, in particular, made a significant sacrifice when you sentenced Thomas to attend the wedding instead of the callback. That was a costly choice. Thomas lost a huge opportunity and a good amount of mental health points in the name of being there for his friends. He didn't get anything out of it other than a new high score in Word Crush. That's the closest to an act of true selflessness that I believe is possible. And look, it served no one. Lee and Mary Lee seem to have appreciated Thomas showing face as much as they would have appreciated any other guest's attendance. So if they gained nothing, and we lost something, then it was a net loss. So maybe selflessness isn't always the answer. Okay, well, that's over and done with, so what now? You need to unlearn that selfish is a dirty word. And for your sake, you need to start practicing a little more selfishness. In moderation. As all things should be. Well, almost all things. What do you mean by almost all things? You're right. We wouldn't want to plant too many trees. Just think of all the CO2 that might be absorbed.
What?
Huh? You got me there. Well, when is it enough? Trees? No, selfishness! How long must we act selfishly until Thomas is ready to start putting more good into the world? A good question for another time. But I'm sure you'd have us believe that that time will never come. And even if it does, what's to stop you from telling us that we've done enough good for others, when maybe we could do more? Oh, Thomas dropped a dime in the St. Jude charity box. What a good boy you are, Thomas. Nay, I say! We are ethically compromised if we give the banana conda a seat at the table.
Get it?
I don't know that we are.
What?
We can't trust him. He's asking us to go back on things we've known for years. Rights and wrongs. Shoulds and shouldn'ts. How can we trust him?
Rights and wrongs.
I don't have a simple answer to that question. But here's a start.
He's trying, bro.
My name.
What? What?
My name is Janice.
What?
Janice? What are you, a middle school librarian? It's a stupid name.
Oh, Roman, thank God you don't have a mustache. Otherwise, between you and Remus, I would know who the evil twin is.
Ooh.
Are you guys seriously going to take his side?
No.
For me? Thomas,
Oh, we got a name and an
I
insult.
thought I was your hero. You are.
But you're not acting like it. I'm still calling you Deceit. and
Wow. I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not.
Like
Or
I said before,
You're not supposed to.
he's not actually evil if you think about it. I've said this for so long. He's not actually evil if you think about it. I've been saying this since the beginning of I knew who Deceit was. I said he's probably not evil, he's just saying he's evil. Also, I'm still calling him Deceit. I don't care what you say.
You're supposed to be good. You can't. Roman. Everything's gonna be okay, kiddo.
There's a kiddo.
We love
He's
you.
bad.
Right.
No, Roman. Roman.
Janice,
No, Deceit. I'm
do you
calling you
think
Deceit.
there's a limit on how many times someone can say sorry before you have to admit
I don't like the news.
that they're just bad for you? Oh, definitely not. I'd love for someone to ruin Thomas's entire life one
I just thought it
apology
would
at
be
a
like a
time.
Dean or Ethan or something like
Okay.
that. No. Janice?
The reality is that
I'm sorry.
it depends. On what? Where to start? How many things have they
I
had
don't
to
think
apologize
Virgil knows
for?
his name.
How frequently do they have to apologize for things? How terrible were the things that they did? One of the biggest factors, in my very humble opinion, is whether or
not
not
doing
they
math.
seem to be making an honest effort to do better. Even if that effort is counterproductive? That does sound very annoying. Again,
You're
it
kind of
depends.
annoying sometimes.
I guess I know who I need to apologize to.
I really
I'm so sorry, Leslie.
It's okay.
What the-
Just hope today we all learned not to...
Thank you, Leslie. Yes, Leslie Odom Jr., everyone. Thank you. Yes, thank you. This is Sandra Sides, not Odom Sides. I'm not threatened at all.
Stop clapping.
Thomas, yes? I think I finally understand what my problem has been. Oh, yeah? Time. When you were younger, pointing you in the right direction was a little easier. Those examples I gave earlier, don't kill, don't steal,
Yeah, I mean,
they're not really difficult
don't
conclusions to come to. Even those can get kind of complicated. I don't want to think
Yeah.
about that.
I don't want to.
But maybe that proves my point. A more mature person comes with more mature moral questions. Like I told you before, sometimes
So Deceit
I
was
don't
in
know
this.
the way. But when I told you that, you were so scared. I couldn't bear it. So I said to myself, all right, Patton, Thomas needs you. You're responsible for his morality. You can never not have an answer for him. And then I
He's so
promised you
evil.
I'd keep fighting.
But he's not evil. I just said that because of the way he moved his eyebrow.
Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that giving too simple of answers to
Thank
complicated
you that he
questions
mentioned
can
Remus
do
in that.
more harm than good. So, I'm sorry. Again, it's okay, Patton. I know you'll do
Why?
anything
cry
you can to
today.
make things right. Thanks for trusting me still, kiddo. I'm gonna
This
go
is
check on Roman.
sad.
Before you go,
Okay.
I think I understand now what it means. Deceit being here as a part of me. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Talk about me like I'm not here. Yeah. And it's not that I'm an evil liar or even a fractionally fiendish fibber. Everyone
You
has
like
a
that name?
capacity for deceit, including me. And all that means is I'm not perfect. Just like anyone else. And those imperfections don't make you any less worthy of love.
I love
Janice,
you.
I'll take care of him.
Okay. Alright, Janice.
So, I suppose now we begin compiling a list of people we need to
Yeah.
nudge.
Down a flight of stairs until they hold another round of callbacks. Oh my gosh, no, relax, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Baby steps. No baby steps. No steps. And no throwing people down them. No violence. You're right, of course. There are much less barbaric, much more fun forms of sabotage. Don't make me regret trusting you. I don't want to be stuck with an evil snake boy. You're not stuck with an evil snake boy. You're just stuck with a snake boy. Oh, brother. But seriously, using a mobile game to hide from your sadness and regret at the wedding doesn't count as leisure time.
I also love the background
Take
music.
some time for yourself, Thomas. You're right. I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you. You're right. Yes! It feels so good!
To be right.
So good! And I know how much you love these constant dilemmas, so please, keep overthinking everything. Yeah, I do need to work on that.
I want all the dark sides to be in the...
While there is likely more that
card
you can
thing.
do to put good into the world, you shouldn't beat yourself up over what you can't do, or what you haven't done before. It doesn't help anyone, so don't overthink it. Just try. All you have to do is try your best to be helpful and to do your part, whatever that is, with the
Bruh, I got so much anxiety in this. Why is Virgil not here?
understanding that you can never get doing good down to a science. It's gonna look different for everyone. And don't be afraid to give to yourself either.
Okay.
If someone else ever did as much for you as you've probably done for yourself, you would owe them everything. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone who has endlessly labored to give you a better life, or who has always helped you to remain on your feet through the toughest, most emotionally challenging periods of your life. Try to find your balance between doing good for others and doing good for yourself, because finding a universally correct balance between the two is impossible. And sometimes painful. So just trust yourself.
Okay.
Until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. Hey, guys.
Sorry, bud.
I forgot, you don't like door yelling.
No worries. It wasn't so much the yelling as it was people at my door.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Yeah, can you actually marry both of us now?
Yes, please. I really want to spend the last 2 pennies in my bank account on a second wedding.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't be tamed. And it looks like you're gonna have to terrify some other more docile bachelor.
Damn.
Almost had him.
I know. You didn't tell me you guys were coming over. What's up?
Well, we just felt kind of bad because you made it all the way out to our wedding and we barely got to hang out with you.
Oh, what? I barely even noticed.
Really? Because you were sitting alone at the reception.
I was just trying to take it all in. You know, a lot of mental snapshots. I'm trying to go less digital this year.
But you're on your phone.
I was also taking literal snapshots with my phone. I mean, phones are barely digital at this point, right?
Totally.
Well, regardless, we thought we'd try to win back your friendship by bribing you with some treats.
What? You guys didn't have to do that.
Mimosa and pastry.
Brunch Tuesdays.
Brunch Tuesday.
Little throwback.
Oh my goodness gracious, it looks like we're gonna make it the mosta this afternoon with some mimosas.
So this is like what you do for a living? Comedy?
Yeah, I'm a hack.
Well, are you busy? We could just leave these with you.
Oh, no, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts, a game that really centers around the concept of friendship. Would you care to join me?
Why would you even ask us that?
What about us showing up at your door with a bunch of brunch and some booze juice makes you think that we enjoy your company?
Cool, come in. We can also do something else if you don't want to play video games. Well, seems like things worked out after all. Guess I was wrong about everything.
Hug, please.
You and I both know that's not true.
Mo seat.
I think Odom Sides would be cool. Watch Odom Sides. Do what he can do.
What is up, everybody?
That's scary.
Please
but
stop.
I feel like
Okay. Gosh.
Well, that was something. That was so much to take in. My head hurts. I'm not even kidding. My head literally hurts how much I had to take in. I don't know what to say. Oh my god, like, dude, that was crazy right now. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. That's freaking... I don't know what to say. We got a name. Roman is even more insecure now than he was before. We don't know if he's a hero anymore. And Patton doesn't know. Whoa. This is actually like... I'm not even acting right now. This is so much to take in. Dude. But can we just say... his laughter does kind of match Janice's. Maybe that's why that's his name. Deceit, Janice. Seems pretty accurate. But, goodbye, guys. That was crazy. Bye. I think I need to, chill out.